After months of working hard and overcoming a myriad of challenges, the combined labors of thousands of physicists, engineers, and construction workers came to fruition as the B Reactor began to operate for the first time around midnight on September 26, 1944. The crew slowly removed the control rods, and soon it was running smoothly at its desired capacity.
And the power level went up, 50, 100 megawatts and so forth.
Then, all of a sudden, it began to lose power.
As they pulled the rods out, the reactor power level kept going down and down. They had all the rods pulled out and the reactor was still non-functioning, with zero power level.
By Wednesday evening, it had completely shut down. Its operators and scientists quickly came together to determine the reason for its failure. By the time it completely ceased functioning, the search was on for a solution.
The thing would rise to power like that. And then for no reason at all, it would level off and then go down like that. Nobody knew why. I was out there that night. All I did was take some log paper and plot the result. And I noticed that it was a straight line on log paper. It had to be a radioactive decay. And so I left my notes out there at the reactor building and went to bed. And it was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And then when I got up the next day, they'd solved the problem.
Building on Greenwald's plotting, John Wheeler theorized that the shutdown was being caused by radioactive iodine decaying into neutron-absorbing xenon. Armed with more detailed reactivity data, Fermi calculated that it was in fact xenon causing the problem, but that its influence could be overcome by increasing radioactivity inside the reactor. But where would this extra reactivity come from?
The story was that Enrico Fermi said 1,500 tubes was sufficient for the reactor. And Crawford Greenwald went to General Groves and says, "What's your contingency?" He says, "Fermi says 1,500 would be 1,500. And Greenwald said, if something went wrong with this plant, who do you think would get the blame? And, the old general is a pretty sharp guy. He says, "How many more tubes do you want?" He says, 500. So they put in 500 tubes. And without that, the reactor probably wouldn't even operate. So it was a fantastic thing.
The DuPont engineer most responsible for ensuring that Greenwald pushed for the extra tubes was a man named George Graves. Amused at his insistence that it was better to be safe than sorry, his peers composed a short, soon-to-be prophetic poem about his resolve. It went, "We'd called up a tight design, hewn strictly to the long hair's line. To us it looked almighty fine, a honey we'd insist. But old Marse George with baleful glare, and with a roar that shook the air, cried, 'Damn it, give it stuff to spare, the long hairs may have missed.'" And they had. Thankfully for the project, George Graves had not.
Well, that was the thing that saved us. That extra reactivity was just exactly what we needed to overcome the xenon effect.
The 500 additional tubes were loaded and the reactor restarted. By November, it was up and running smoothly again, producing the plutonium that was used in the Fat Man bomb dropped on Nagasaki to help bring an end to World War II.